Hello everyone. So my turtles have been growing a lot and they needed a new basking platform that would fit them since the old one just wouldn't do anymore. Also while I wait for a new tank. So here's a DIY. This was the aquatic kit that I got when I got them at first, but they outgrew this. So today I'm going to show you how to make a basking platform from stuff you might have at home. Let's get started. Right here I have a leftover patio towel that I got in IKEA, but I've seen them in Lowe's as well as other places. I also have this old basking platform that was originally for my turtles, but they outgrew this. The suction cups from the basking platform. This is some wire that I picked up in Dollar Tree, as well as some zip ties that I picked up in Dollar Tree. These were all $1. You're going to need a utility knife, a hacksaw blade, also from Dollar Tree, and some pliers. Now let's get to it. Now the patio towel that I have, it had originally 2 connecting edges where you can attach them to each other. I removed one of the edges and I kept one, because you're going to need one for attachment. I pre-removed this edge prior to filming the video, but I just used my utility knife and I use it to cut along the edges. It was very soft. It wasn't too hard to cut, and there was some areas that were a little harder that I used a hacksaw blade to cut through. Now the towel that I'll be using, it's approximately the exact dimensions of my tank, so it will sit right in my tank. I won't have to alter it in any way, but you know, that depends on the size of the tank that you're using. The only thing that I'll be doing is I'll be attaching the floating platform to the connectors on the towel, so that way the turtles will have something to climb onto, to grab onto or grasp to climb up onto the platform. You can use something else if you have it. I think egg crates are also good, but this is what I'll be using because that's what I have at the moment. The zip ties make it easier to adjust later on if I wanted to change the platform to maybe an egg crate so it's easier for them. I could definitely do that, but I couldn't locate any in my local hardware store. So I'll be using 2 zip ties, and I am just going to be tying the platform onto the towel through the holes that are already there, as well as the connector that's on the towel. And this is fairly easy. I'm going to be doing it on the back because I want, when I put the zip tie through, that edge that is left, I don't want it to scratch them or harm them in any way if, you know, they should swim really close up underneath. So I'll be putting it on the back. Also, you know, if it was on the front, if they're climbing up, you know, it could probably potentially scratch their shell or something like that. So in order to avoid that, I'm putting it on the back. I'll be using 2 zip ties, as you can see, to make it much sturdier. Now that they're tied on, I'm going to cut them off. You can use a scissor for this, but I'm going to be using my utility knife since that's what I have right now. You want to cut them a little close to the closure, so that way you don't have like a lot of hanging plastic, as well as, you know, it won't potentially harm the turtles if they're supposed to swim up close to it. Great, there we go, all done. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'll be attaching the suction cups with the wire to the towel. Right here I am measuring the wire with the attachment from the floating dock to see the approximate length that I should cut, so that when I place the towel inside the tank, there will be enough space from the heating lamp to the actual towel where the turtles will bask. So I want to make sure that the length is good enough to reach from the basking lamp onto the towel, but not too close or not too far. Usually your lamps differ, so they will tell you, the approximate distance that your basking platform need to be from the heat source. Make sure you're checking for that when you're deciding to choose how high or how far from your lamp you need, or your heat source you need to place your basking dock. I'm going to tie the wires onto the towel now, and I'm just gonna do that through the holes which are already there. I don't have to cut any new holes because there's already holes onto the towel, so I'm just gonna twist it using the pliers. However, you can do this with your fingers. Just be careful not to poke yourself, because the raw edge of the of the wire is usually sharp. So there you go, just a twist and it should be secure. I did that for all 4 corners, so I'm just measuring it to see that the length is still okay. Now I'm going to be attaching the suction cups to the other end of the wire. And as I said, even though my towel is the same dimensions as my tank, these suction cups are just going to help me to, secure it to the side of the tank in case the weight of my now big turtles will pull it down or weigh it down. That way it won't become loose, or fall into the water. So just the same, I'm going to be using a twisting action to tie the suction cups onto the wires, and you can use the pliers or your fingers to tighten it. Just be careful not to poke yourself. Now that that's done, I just want to point out that you can also use the zip ties to create a loop through the hole to attach your wires, or some other type of extension if you'd like. But I'm going to use the wires directly to the towel. Suction cups are attached, and that's it. We're all done. We're going to test it out. Let's see how it works. So as you can see, the towel sits perfectly in my tank without even attaching it. I have a measuring tape here measuring the distance of the heat source to the top of the towel. This is the bulb that I use, and it also gives you a heating guide to show you the distance that your heat source needs to be to the basking platform. Okay, I am going to attach these to the sides. I'm making sure that once I put my heat source or my lamp on, that it'll be good. Actually, this is pretty close for me, so I might have to tilt my lamp just a little bit up or back to ensure that I'm not cooking my turtles once they go basking. So I'm gonna attach it to the sides of the tank here, and I might have to move it down a little bit. There we go, all set up. I filled the tank with water. I've put in the filter and everything else. This is the final look. This is how it will be. Once I put the cover on my tank, then the basking light will sit on top of that, and I'm going to show you in a short while how that is going to look. So that's it with the filter on. This is it from the bottom. And I filled it, I put as much water as possible because, as I said, my turtles have gotten huge and I need them to have enough space to move around until we get a new tank. I've already conditioned the water to remove all chlorine or metals, And here's one little guy in, or one big guy in. Let's see how they like it. Here goes swim and splash, and they're swimming around, splashing around. I think they're enjoying the water. Let's see if they'll enjoy basking on this new platform that they have now. I think it was successful. I had to lure one of them up with a shrimp, but as you can see, the fact that it's now floating and not sitting on a base gives more space at the bottom for them to swim. While one can bask, the other can swim around. I placed the heat lamp at an angle. That way it won't be too much heat on the platform. And I think that should be enough for them. This is also another option. This is a letter tray. I picked it up in the dollar store for $1. If you don't have the patio towel that I have, you can use this.